with that in mind, they'll actually play out of their minds with the pressure being off. So I think they'll definitely take this one.
Great, Wes.
I'm going with Dragon Solar Bust. I agree. Stage pressure is off. They're just playing solo queue right now, and I think they can take it here.
All right. Let's head over to draft. Looks like we're already there. We have several bans, all 3 bans for both teams coming out already. Wukong, Set, and Skarner for Casual Reformed, and Silas, Urgot, and Nocturne for Dragon Soul or Bust.
Yeah, key thing here we're already seeing is that Mordekaiser was left open, but Dragon Solar Bust choose to take that away from Royal instead of since they even though it was left open, Casually Reformed opted for a first pick Alistar. Zero Urge has been really strong on Alistar for the last few games. That was kind of the first time we really saw Zero Urge show his strength and how he is one of the best supports in this league because of that Alistar play. Really nice dealing with tower dives, stuff like that. So the Caitlyn comes in to answer, and Caitlyn's nice into Alistar because of the range. You can safely poke down and harass Alistar in lane without getting too aggressive and getting into that pulverized range. So yeah. I like the bot lane going back and forth, and I also like the Mordekaiser pick. I don't know if it's going mid or top. We haven't seen Heartstopper or Jasonsensationz play this champion.
Yeah, Mordekaiser is definitely a strong flex pick. Another pick that I want to bring up actually is the Volibear. And as I mentioned earlier, the Volibear can bring some form of draft advantage due to the new patch dropping just only a few days ago. So if Stiffy has been practicing the Volibear, then he could actually surprise the opponent due to how new the champion is. And if the team has a head start with learning the champion, then they can definitely pull Volibear out and surprise him.
Yeah, the other potential thing that could happen with Volibear here is that Jasonsensationz, who actually was spamming Volibear before the rework, still has been playing a bunch of Volibear, and so this Mordekaiser could be going to the mid lane with Volibear going to top. Now, I personally don't think that the new Volibear is that strong. It has quite a low win rate right now, though that it's artificially low because of it being new and people not really knowing what they're doing with it yet, but still. It hasn't been that long. It doesn't feel that strong, especially until the later stages of the game where it can be kited out quite easily. So I'm not sure if we're going to see it, but I like the Mordekaiser flex pick. And now we have both bot lanes done and dusted here with Tristana, Alistar up against Caitlyn, Nami, and obviously a very different sort of strategy going into the bot lane. Caitlyn, Nami much more safe, farming, pushing, sustain, while Casually Reformed with Alistar, Tristana going super ham, super aggressive.
Yeah, and it seems like they've found their play style a little more. You saw in the first couple of weeks, Modelbrony opting in for the hyper aggressive, the Leona picks, playing Leona for quite a few of those games, but now transitioning into the more enchanter type champions. Nami and Sona and Janna are picks that they've been playing quite a lot recently.
I wanted to ask about the Tristana. Now, the Tristana can be played mid. Well, not likely now. This Syndra's pick, so I'll back off of that one. I just wanted to see it.
I wouldn't imagine Tristana's going mid on this patch. We've got AD carry buffs coming in on this patch, and a lot of HP was raised. HP regen was raised on AD carries. It's noticeable, if not that noticeable, on a lot of champions. But it makes Tristana just fine into the bot lane against something like Caitlyn, which pokes out. Before, Caitlyn would have had a bigger advantage, I would say, even though they both got buffed. But I like Dragon Solar Bust's. That's such a good last pick there. I love Dragon Solar Bust's strategy here, going for sort of a team fight, disengage, kiting type of play style here. I think this team composition is so well crafted, and I think it's really. It works to deal with what Casually Reformed have gone for with this aggressive, jump into your face style that they're going for with theirs. So I like the Dragon Solar Bust draft here.
Yeah, I definitely Agree. And just to go back to the whole Syndra and Tristana potential swap, I think it has some feasibility.
Sure. Yeah.
Because Tristana is also a beneficiary of those buffs, right?
Yes. Yep.
So her solo lane power is also increased.
Yep, that's true.
So not only that, but 30 HP is quite significant if you're expecting more than one person in your lane, because just that one extra auto, I think, can be the difference between living or dying. And anybody who plays AD carry is so used to dying to one auto attack that dying to two auto attacks is now really nice. So.
Well, we'll see once we get into game if that Tristana is the mid lane or the bot lane. But we're going to take a quick break, keeping our competitive integrity. We will be back. Don't you go anywhere.
All right, welcome back to Purple Shirt Gang featuring Shadow Boy. We are going in with game one here of Dragon Solar Bust versus Casually Reformed. On the blue side, Casually Reformed, we have Sean in the top lane, JaDe in the jungle, Royal in the mid lane, Grim in the bot lane, and Zero Urge supporting him.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
And on the side, we have Dragon Solar Bust in the top lane, Jasonsensationz in the jungle, 6-inch in mid, Heartstopper, bot lane, Sassman, and support Modelbrony.
Coming back after 2 weeks, dropping the ball in the first 2 minutes of the game.
Somebody would start reading off some names, but that did not happen. And so those are your teams. Like we said before, this is not a high-stakes game for Dragon Solar Bust. It is only a high-stakes game for Casually Reformed, as they need a win to get a chance of getting into that first or second seed there. So definitely going to see what kind of motivation Dragon Solar Bust has, and what Casually Reformed can do to take care of this game.
Yeah, it's a good thing that you bring that up, because we've been saying that there's no pressure on them to win, right? But there's also there's also really no motivation at that point. So it could honestly go either way. They could either flop really hard because they're not as motivated to win, or they could perform really well because there's no pressure there's no real consequence of losing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we see pretty standard starts here. Just going in with some, regular jungle starts, although we did see Jarvan start in the top lane at blue buff there, so we'll see if a level 2 gank is imminent here. And definitely something Jarvan does. We were talking already about the Poppy jungle being potentially a somewhat slow clear. I haven't seen Poppy jungle in quite a while, and we talked about how it's it can work in the jungle. Theoretically, it's good because it's a low econ, high effectiveness champion. The kit is good, but we'll see if 6-inch is able to make that work.
Yeah, see a couple of trades early on in the top lane here. Poppy opting to go for a full one-side clear, whereas Jarvan moving over to the red after completing prompt, leaving the wolves. And here we see Alistar level 2. Yeah, and just classic start there when the Jarvan is starting blue. It's just...
Sorry about that. Had my mic muted there. Thanks, Cam, on that one. But we did.
I was wondering
see
why it was so silent.
Anyway, I thought you were going to say
Sassman go down, and there's Grim. Now here's a gank coming in, and that is the Poppy gank. Not doing a lot there, but Sean did have a pretty good position in lane. So first blood going over to the side of Casually Reformed.
Yeah, pretty standard start there, honestly. When the Jarvan is starting blue, you can pretty much bet all of your money on him coming bot lane pretty quickly. There's no other reason he would start blue other than to you know, clear towards the bottom side of the map and try to make a play there. If he's trying to level 2 cheese, as you saw him do just then that's pretty ideal because of the Alistar level 2 power spike being just so powerful. And
yeah, exactly. Definitely have to be watching out for that. Now we do see a decent lead coming in for JasonSensationz here. And especially just in terms of pressure. That is the Ornn being pushed out early, which Mordekaisers, of course, want to do. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. It's not a lot of kill pressure is the thing. It is good in terms of, you know, being able to shove him out. But so far, it's not resulting in that big of a lead, just a slight CS lead there, about a wave ahead. We'll see if that expands as things go on.
Caitlyn keeping up in farm in the bot lane there, even though that gank was so great from the Jarvan. Is that just because the Alistar and the Tristana don't have the kill pressure here? That doesn't seem quite right. Why would they should be playing more aggressive?
It was where the wave was when the kill happened, so they ended up having to go back there. And so weren't able to really push in, and it's possible they could have. They might have been able to get something going if they would have pushed in a little bit more aggressively, but potentially the fear of Stiffy coming in with the gank caused them to just go back and take the kill. But yeah, you also haven't seen any recall from Grim. It was just the kill, and then they just stuck around. So far, no actual advantage gained by the AD carry in terms of items. So they're not able to push him out. And Caitlyn, Nami still a stronger lane in just regular trades than Tristana Alistar, especially in the early game. So no surprise, Caitlyn would have had a lead if not for that kill.
Right, and the Caitlyn Nami. I was about to say Caitlyn Alistar, but the Caitlyn Nami is more of a pokey style lane, and Tristana and Alistar want to all in and get that 5-stack bomb off. And it does a lot of damage with the recent changes, so if you get caught off guard, then they can definitely blow someone up before you can even blink. So
yeah, exactly. Hoping to get those resets from the bomb exploding as well as the Tristana. And now you can see Grim has gone back and has picked up a BF sword plus a dagger there. So that is going to be a significant advantage. Only the boots picked up for the Caitlyn. Now working around Dragon a little bit are Dragon Solar Bust. Interested in this Cloud Drake.
They're interested. I think they could have taken it, actually.
They had, they had control for a good amount of time there.
I mean, we have full vision of the map, so it's hard to say for sure, but Tristana and Alistar were backed. Orianna shoved the wave in, and they just saw Jarvan flag and drag over the wall, so there was really no one there to contest. They definitely could have taken that Cloud Drake for free, if not in their favor.
Yeah, and Stiffy not at all able to get any access to the enemy jungle, and not able to as effectively track where JaDe is going. And so, yeah, that's a bit of an issue, because you really need to take advantage of those things, especially against a scaling composition like this. You've seen these trades between the tanks up in the top lane. Not much going to come of this, unless if somebody screws up, basically. But like we said, even though there is an item lead and a gold lead for the Tristana, still Sassman able to keep up in farm. Going to get about a wave behind here as they push in, and hopefully they do push in instead of freeze. But looks like they may. Yeah, they are freezing, which in my opinion is a mistake. They can push this in and get it to crash, but well, you can't win them all. As still this Cloud Dragon alive and kicking, and we'll see who is the first to approach that objective. Of course, there is the Rift Herald as well alive, so we'll see if they are more interested in that. The Cloud Soul, Kang, you were singing the praises of Poppy Ultimate, so the Cloud Dragon definitely could come into play there with that ultimate cooldown reduction. Full ultimates across the board on this Dragon Solar Bust team.
Good. We see Heartstopper getting.
Yeah, Heartstopper there with the flash, and that bomb is going to explode, but looks like Heartstopper may get away with the flash. Could this now be the opportunity for the Dragon? They are pinging towards it. And yeah, they are going to go for it. That ward is spotted out, or disabled, I should say, so that's going to be just fine. And yeah, there you go. They're going to get that Dragon totally for free. No problems there. And we'll see who is able to go for that Rift Herald. For now, no team really interested in it. Dragon Solar Bust didn't have the opportunity to trade. There's the rocket jump in from Grim, but not going to do much. Continuing to push this in is Jasonsensationz, and now amassing about a 20 CS lead, so that's definitely worthwhile. And, you know, we've seen already how Mordekaiser can take over these games if left unchecked, and definitely could do such a thing in this particular game against a few tanks, where teamfights may be drawn out, which is where Mordekaiser thrives.
Yeah, it's interesting to see that all of the vision is still focused towards the bot side, despite Herald still being up. And it might change over the course of the next minute or so, but interesting to note that both teams are still focusing on the bot side of the map. We see Poppy trying to go for a lane gank here. Potentially. Is that vision?
Not quite, but it is going to be very hard. They're kind of relying on Grim to jump in here, and Grim is not going to be so hasty. So, yeah, you are running into a little bit of a problem with Poppy's clear speed here, where the pathing is not available in the way you want. But now you see 6inch going and clearing out the ward here, and yeah, even though JaDe has been able to make a lot more happen on the map, JaDe is still up in farm, and so I'm not loving this Poppy jungle so far. I think there were better picks available. For instance, something like a Sejuani was available, or a Zac, which I think could do, you know, the same thing but better and with better clear.
Yeah, and one of the things that helps with clear speed is the ability to scale walls. You know, Graves, Jarvan, Elise, Lee Sin, all these junglers have the ability to clear, like, scale walls, and Poppy doesn't really have that unless she wards or somehow gets vision on camps.
And as you said, we did see Heartstopper get taken down in the mid lane there, so that is going to be another kill going over to Casually Reformed. 2-0 now. Here is Stiffy trying to defend this mid lane turret, but not going to happen so far, or not going to be able to defend those plates at this point in the game, as Stiffy only preventing, you know, that extra push, as now JaDe has access to his jungle. So really isn't a good situation here coming in for Dragon Solar Bust. Casually Reformed just sort of slowly taking what advantages they can, and just taking advantage of mistakes in particular, which is going to be an effective way to play against Dragon Solar Bust, because, you know, they are making mistakes every now and then. And yeah, here now Stiffy is going to find Jarvan in the jungle, and they are going to go for him. Teleport coming in, but Ornn is here as well. We expect to potentially see the ultimate in. No, they are going to leave Stiffy leave JaDe for dead there, as Stiffy was able to collapse onto that one. So that's one kill back going in for Dragon Solar Bust. And looks like finally the Rift Herald will be taken. Many opportunities so far to get it, and finally one being taken. That objective is going to go over to Dragon Solar Bust. So a few minutes left before the plates go down. Potentially could get some gold out of that. And we'll see if that happens here. As, yeah, pretty standard coming in. Pretty much more or less what we expected. And, you know, a betting man would go that Casually Reformed, you know, We both did our meme predictions at the beginning, saying Dragon Solar Bust is going to take this. Nothing to lose. Get out there and play your best. But Kingsley reformed the stakes that they've got here and the skill they've shown in the past. I think definitely could lead them to victory here, as this game certainly matters more to them than it does to Dragon Solar Bust, and that can be an advantage as well.
Yeah, definitely. As of right now, though, Tristana sitting on the Stormrazor, so that's a lot of pick potential that the item brings. On the other hand, Caitlyn opting to finish Berserker Greaves and stay with the BF, so...
Yeah, Berserker Greaves is a very efficient early item to get, and it definitely is worthwhile, but... Yeah. A Stormrazor, of course, is better. So we will see what comes of that, as, yeah, like you said, very good pick potential with that slow passive coming in on the first shot. Still Caitlyn maintaining slight CS lead here, but Mountain Dragon has spawned, and so we're looking at either Ocean or Infernal Soul coming in for this game, and we'll see who takes this. The Rift Herald is summoned mid, and we'll see if Dragon Solar Bust is going to use that pressure to try to get control of this Dragon Pit. Grim and Zero Urge not having any of it, though. Approaching the Dragon Pit here and just kind of zoning DSB out of it. As we see them posturing around, and actually Zero Urge is left a far. Now here's the teleport coming in, so we are seeing a lot of damage being put kill coming in for Grim. That is some beautiful work there. No peel available. Sorry, my mistake. That was Royal who got that double kill. So more damage onto the Syndra. And yeah, Casually Reformed has already gotten enough of a lead that the damage is just so in their favor with a team fight. Even with a pretty good ultimate coming in from Heartstopper, just nowhere near enough damage to translate into a teamfight win. Looks like they might get the first dragon as well as the first turret right off of that play. So that is a huge teamfight win coming in for Casually Reformed.
Oh yeah, that's huge. And Mountain Soul going the way of Casually Reformed. You have an Ornn and an Alistar. Those are two beefy boys, and if they get even a little bit of extra magic resistant armor, they're going to be tough frontline to get through. And especially when you have a long range Tristana late game, that's going to be a scary thing for Dragon Solar Bust to play around.
Yeah, exactly. Both of these AD carries can scale well, but Tristana does end up outranging Caitlyn in the end, and with already powerful damage coming out from Tristana in these team fights, and with seemingly no particular way to get onto the Tristana and blow her up on this team, it really, really is dire for Dragon Solar Bust already. Plus, you saw those 2 kills go over to Royal, who we said is one of the star players of this league, and on such a powerful champion like Syndra, definitely Sassman is going to be shaking in his boots against that Syndra burst, single target burst coming in there.
Oh yeah, and you know, as the game goes on, that Mountain Drake is going to get more and more valuable. Even
here's a gank coming in, and actually they did end up blowing the flash from Sean, so that is definitely good from Stiffy there to go in, but a lot of focus has been put up to this top lane by the jungler here of Dragon Solar Bust, and it just hasn't paid off in a meaningful way. You do see a farm lead for Mordekaiser, but that hasn't been translated, and you saw in that team fight, Mordekaiser was there, but not at all able to use that gold lead to get a lot of good teamfight damage down, so things looking good for Casually Reformed here.
Yeah, not only that, but Mordekaiser...
Really a flash coming in here from the Tristana, and that bomb is going to blow up. He's going to be able to jump again if he wants to, and yes, he does go in, and the ultimate coming through, but has Grim gone to... They are going to shut down Grim with Poppy finally coming in to end the reign of terror Tristana has been exerting over that bot lane. So you can see the potential of the Tristana, very, very frightening for the Caitlyn there. But now it looks like Zero Urge might be caught out here as Poppy is going to go onto him. And Zero Urge still running away. It looks like they are going to think better of this.
Oh!
Huge damage coming in from Teleport came in from Mordekaiser. Now the ultimate has gone down onto the Syndra. Will they be able to get the shutdown? The stopwatch comes out, and the ultimate's about to run out. Yes, it is run out, and Syndra did get away. Caitlyn all coming in, but blocking that as well. So the teleport coming in from Mordekaiser, not even able to save them in that team fight. Beautifully played there by Royal, using the stopwatch, holding it to the last second. And yeah, really, really lovely work there by Casually Reformed. Dragon Solar Bust just not quite reacting fast enough to get that going. So it's still the smaller margins this time, but we still do see Casually Reformed outplaying Dragon Solar Bust in that team fight.
Really seeing the power of Zero Urge's Alistar, as you said at the beginning during the draft there, how good he's been on Alistar. What an initiation there to start that fight.
Yeah, beautiful flash in right after the Poppy. So the Poppy circle that stops dashes, I was about to say it's an effective tool against Alistar, but Alistar this time on Zero Urge just waited that out so beautifully.
Yeah, you know, you have a 4-0 Syndra, gonna be pretty tough to beat. Able to get a lot of picks off with the Stormrazor and the QE combo of Syndra. They're gonna have to be really careful about where they walk, or Dragon Solar Bust are gonna have a rough time.
Right, and I know we are dealing with some audio issues. I just got to apologize to everybody. We are still figuring this out and getting some alternative stream options coming in here. But we will do the best we can here. And now we are going to adjust the volume here just to hope to get a little bit of a better situation for the audio next team fight. If I keep yelling, as I am prone to do, and we will see as the teleport comes in here, and now is the time to test it out. Now the teleport from Ornn, and now it looks like Mordekaiser's completely caught out there. Huge knockup came in, and there's the ultimate coming back. And the huge ultimate, but it's just not enough damage coming through from the Orianna. The Luden's Echo not sufficient there, and now Poppy is caught out as well. So really, really lovely work again by Casually Reformed, and they're just grouping up, not whatsoever afraid of the Orianna ultimate. It was a 5-man ultimate coming in from Heartstopper, beautifully placed, but just not enough to dissuade Casually Reformed, and not enough to get a single kill. Now they will pick up the third dragon, which is the Ocean, and they will be able to get on Soul Point here. Ocean Soul, very, very dangerous on something like a Tristana, where sustained team fights are what she's looking for. Now another flank has come in, and here is the ultimate coming in as well. That is a dead Sassman coming in, beautifully played once again by Zero Urge, showing that strength on the Alistar, showing why it was their first pick on the blue side here. So once again, just dominant here from Casually Reformed. Looks like they're gonna take care of this series pretty easily, potentially.
Yeah, I mean, tons of vision all around on the side of Casually Reformed, able to get these picks off, extending their lead, and just really, really hard engaging on these little solo champions right for the taking.
Yeah, exactly. We did see a pretty early Leandries come in from Mordekaiser because of that farm lead there. But the Leandries just isn't going to be doing a lot in certain team fights, because Mordekaiser not always able to get that crowd control down on a lot of the champions here. So, you know, it's just even with the Leandries, powerful item completed, still not going to be that effective. Not only that, but if you had known there was going to be an Ocean Soul, you might have wanted to go for Morello Nomicon instead, and they definitely are going to be needing some healing reduction, which they might not have needed against this team before, which is, you know, it's just a really, really tough situation financially here for Dragon Solar Bust, as they're just not going to be able to build optimally into this, to scale into this late game.
Yeah, not only that, Casually Reformed have the luxury of being able to pick off anybody that they want if they straggle too far away from their team. And with Cloud Soul being the next dragon, they have to choose where they want to be if they want to move as a team. Otherwise, they'll have to split resources across the map. Now, as you see, they're starting the Baron here.
That is a scary cow when he's walking up to you like that. He's back off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be so hard to even contest. Now here comes the Ornn, way wide in that ultimate. But now Zero just actually, Grim has actually jumped in, and that's the shutdown already onto the Tristana, and the kill goes back onto the AD carry, but that's a huge damage threat down, and we'll see if Casually Reformed want to continue this fight, as that was way too aggressive there going in from Grim, a big mistake, and it looks like the Ornn is going to be caught out again. Now there's a nice knock-up, and is Ornn even going to go down here? Look at that flash away, so close, but still no cigar. They did get the shutdown onto Tristana, but they weren't able to get any other kills, and somehow Sean walks away with his life there. And it doesn't look like they are going to go for the Baron, as Tristana's damage would have been needed. But that definitely was, you know, once again, these close margins here are so devastating for the side of Dragon Solar Bust. And while Grim did do a bit of an interesting play with a capital INT, still was not sufficient to allow Dragon Solar Bust to win that team fight.
I mean, I can't even blame him. Like, I've played some of Tristana, a little bit of Tristana myself, and when you get a bomb off and you see that damage, just that red bar, like it's almost like a drug. Like, once you see how much damage your bomb does, you just want to keep on proccing that bomb every time. So I don't blame him, man. I've been there before. I've jumped into 1v5 just to see my bomb explode. And
oh man, it's like
honestly. Like,
so I play a lot of Kane, and there's a famous saying called "int for form," which is you go in and fight just so you can get your form faster. And there's a little bit of a similar dynamic coming in there. Meanwhile, a really sneaky Royal has managed to get 10 kills in this game. Pretty much every kill in these team fights has been finished off by Royal on Syndra. So you see 3 full items already completed, more than a full item ahead of Heartstopper on the Orianna. So it is really, really rough there. And Royal is so dangerous to run into here. Probably able to one-shot almost any member of the team besides potentially Jason. But here's the engage coming in. Now it is going to be a lot of damage. Look at that knock-up coming in from the Ornn. The ultimate going to come through. Another knock-up. Already the kills coming in. Now 2 kills for Sean coming in here. And Syndra on the back line taking out Nami. That's a clean ace. A very clean ace there for Casually Reformed. They are going to be able to complete this Dragon Soul. And that is all but everything. All but the game has been taken here by Casually Reformed. Just slowly getting advantages at the beginning and then ramping it up as the game went along.
Yeah, and Grim finding an excellent position in the river, getting free hits off over the wall. Like, that's every AD carry's dream right there. Just that exact spot, being able to free hit over walls. It's heaven for Tristana, man. Like,
yeah, and in that fight, you know, Syndra did a little bit of damage, but mostly Syndra was focusing on the Nami. Oh, there's a flash, and that is because the surrender has come in. Dragon Solar Bust not wanting to go through the emotional baggage of playing out this game, as they have almost no chance at all of winning. And so the victory will come in 1-0 for Casually Reformed.